Hey, what's up, guys? Matt Spinks, still on the Glory Caravan tour here in Central America. Although we have moved back up into Mexico now, so I guess technically North America. Man, it's been so glorious just being sustained by the favor and presence of the Lord. uh, as in all of life, right? Man, it's just another day in paradise, as Phil Collins says. Shika-liga-liga-liga-liga. Yeah, I'm updating you. Okay. So yeah, our team has gone on down to Costa Rica. Actually, well, a few have flown back to the States, and we are making our way to our kind of at least semi-final destinations here. Uh, we're heading to Cali and then back to Fort Wayne, Indiana. So we're gonna be in California for a bit, and then driving back across the country. So we made it back north. We're in Veracruz right now, and about half of our team has stayed on in Costa Rica. A lot of the Obed Edom guys, amazing community. And there's something forming in Costa Rica. It's real amazing. You're going to hear more about that. But get a hold of Josh and Julie, Barry, Allison, David, or Kai if you're interested in more about that, because there's a sweet community thing that's forming. But wow, we've just been feeling the favor as our little family drives back north. Just seeing every little thing provided for. We stayed with our friends Sean and Courtney and just had an amazing time going to the Guatemala Zoo and just spending time with them, and then headed back to Panajachel, Guatemala by Lake Atitlan for a couple days, which was awesome. And now we're back in Veracruz. Last night, I wanted to share a cool testimony. We all have the favor of God in our life. Every single person, I guarantee you do, because in Christ, you've been given all the fullness of every spiritual blessing. And so, wow, you have that favor. But, it's a matter of literally just walking in reality. Sometimes even with that favor, we just go off on our own little insecure, living on those insecure or fear-filled journeys that have caused us to not be ourselves, to not be, resting at ease. So we're at dis-ease, and that's when all the, diseased things of the world can happen. But when you're in that ease and you're just riding in the ease of God, which is on everybody's life, which is the reality of Christ that you're included in right now, just rest in it, rest in ease in Christ, knowing that you're loved and just going forth as a son and daughter of God, then it's amazing to see what happens. We were driving through Mexico last night in kind of the back country. We were in between Chiapas and Tabasco, which is like a crazy nowhere land. There was 100 miles or more without a gas station. Well, we're not used to going 100 miles without a gas station, so we were on, we headed into that 100 miles maybe on a third of a tank or quarter tank or something. I don't know how much was in there. And anyway, all I know is that we ended up way below E, no gas station in sight. And our gas tank just kept going and going and going. It was just way below E. And finally, I was like, we never ran out of gas, which is amazing. I mean, we were going so far. It had to be more than 100 miles. And and so finally, I see this military checkpoint. I just pull over in my broken Spanish, try talking to the guys, and ends up this guy, Yeshua, the kindest guy ever, drives me to the gas station and fills up this big tank he has in the back of his truck. Drives it back, siphons it for me, gets gas in his mouth and all kinds of stuff, serving me. Of course, I tipped him. Gave him probably the equivalent of a day's wage or more. I don't know, whatever. But it was just amazing to feel how just cared for and loved we were. In the middle of nowhere, Mexico, where people would be definitely afraid. We just felt the favor of God. And it's been that way on this whole trip. And I've got to say, it's God, but it's also God's glory on the Mexican people or the people of Central America, which people have told us to be so afraid of. And, to be honest, our friends did get robbed in Costa Rica. Although Costa Rica is supposed to be one of the safest nations in Central America, so you can get robbed anywhere, and that sucks. And they are okay. Josh and Julie, and I guess David and Josh got cut by some guys with machetes. It was crazy. So you're like, how is that the favor of God? Well, sometimes when you're going into new areas or whatever, there's a disturbance, and as you're bringing forth that glory. And what's awesome is that they have been undeterred in their mission there in Costa Rica and their love. But a lot of times people are speaking negative words against Mexicans or against Central Americans. I want to tell you, man, last night, this Mexican dude drove me, all over to get gas. And we've been just so encouraged and blessed by the warmth of the people here. Time and time again, security guards coming up to say, hey, we got your back. Whenever we would camp somewhere or whatever, just people going out of their way to just, watch over us, take care of us. And a lot of times they didn't make any money out of it. I mean, people could be so skeptical, like, oh, they'd only help you for money. Listen, the dude last night didn't give a rip about money. He kept saying, I'm your friend, Yeshua. I'm your friend in Mexico. And he's like, what's my friend's name? And I was like, Mateo. He's like, oh. It was just so awesome, man. And so, as you're walking in reality, the point is just, you can go anywhere. Because sometimes people are like, how do I know when I step out? Should I step out and do something crazy with the Lord or whatever? Follow. It's really just that supernatural presence, that in that ease, his yoke is easy and his burden is light. And when that glory is there, it's called reality. It's called Christ. Like, you can know Christ. You do know Christ. Knowing Christ is actually the most natural thing. A lot of times people are like, I don't know how to hear God's voice. No, God is super good at communicating. You're not missing God. Just take a minute and say, what are the obvious things in my life that would be God right now? What are the obvious things? And you can start there, and then you just learn to hear the glory in everything all over, directing you. It's so easy, sometimes in the most simple but mystical ways. Don't discount, the most random occurrences in your daily life. And, don't make yourself paranoid looking for God. God is in the obvious. God is, there, filling everything with glory. And, whoa, so as we've just followed the glory train across the world, even across dangerous Central America, we've felt Yeshua, our friend, helping us, gassing our trip all the way. It's been glorious. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you. Love you guys. Check out what the team's doing in Costa Rica. Check out our Kainos Koinonia thing. I'm going to do some more updates on that soon. And come visit us in Fort Wayne. We're going to be doing some farming this year. We're going to be doing a new monastery launching. We're looking into buying land. We got all kinds of cool community stuff happening. But just walk in reality, which is who you are, and you will feel the flying favor of God all over your life. You are so loved and taken care of. God is there, speaking and ministering to you right now in the obvious, the beautiful obvious. All right, love you guys. Thanks for sowing into our lives, those that are partnering with us. If you want to, you can always donate at thefirehouseprojects.com. Just follow the links to donate. You can become monthly partners with us. We love that. Thank you, partners. You guys are amazing for believing us in this vacationary journey, encouraging us to live life in the glory. If you need a miracle right now, just take one. Oh, the presence is so rich. You are so rich. Love you. Talk to you soon.